Hi everyone, welcome back. I just got back from a 5-day road trip on the East Coast and parts of Ontario, and I came back with just the most magnificent things for my junk journals that I want to share. I'm really excited. I'm going to very quickly just go through to show you what kinds of things you're going to find in my junk journals over the next year. These treasures are going straight into my journals. There are maybe a few pieces that I just can't part with, but how much fun are these going to be in my junk journals? These are really historic pieces. These here are stereoscopes, and they're typically about $5 US, $8 Canadian. And so that alone in your journals, along with all the postcards you're going to get and receipts and all the fun stuff, it's just incredible. Look at these beautiful things. These are all from the 1890s. When stereoscopes were at their hottest. Look at this one. This one is actually early 1900s, but it's President Roosevelt in Austin. Is that cool? We've got, this is a historic one of one of the first tightrope crossings over Niagara Falls. And this just got Alaska. We've got Colorado. There's a wedding one. Guess where that's going? Right into a wedding journal. This one as well. These little children, God bless Santa Claus. It's just so much fun. Some funny ones, you know, France. Just, I love stereoscopes, and I was completely out of them, so these came to me just in time. Really, really excited. This is something I've never had before, and I was able to get about 20 of them. And these are called calling cards. They're just little, or sometimes they're just used as little photographs. Remember when we used to get the kids' school portraits, and there's like 11 million little wallet sizes, and you gave them away to people who didn't want them. So here is a bunch. Look at the backs, to me, are just as fascinating as the front. There's some from Paris, most are from England, Dulverton, and they're just, I mean, look at that Victorian one. Look at the hoop skirt there. They're so beautiful. Look at this one. Isn't that beautiful? It's a really special 4-camera thing. They used 4 cameras, which is a big deal in the 1800s. Yeah, England. This is another one of those. This little boy here, and that is a calling card. So if you went to somebody's house and they weren't home, you would leave your calling card for them to let them know you were there. And yeah, so these are I'm so excited to put them in my journals. I can't even stand it. And then I have a hard time finding green vintage beads, because you know I don't use commercial products if I can help it, which is I almost never use them. So this was a really cool vintage necklace, the pink one especially. So I've got those to make bangles out of. And then more antique postcards that are, oh my gosh, I mean, there's flowers. Look at this little wedding one. It's a Valentine card, but it's adorable. I cannot wait to do a wedding one. There's dogs, flowers. Oh, beach. That's for my beach journal. Scenery that is to die for. Another beach. Just really beautiful. These ones here with the, it's almost like a velvet, and then they've dusted pastels around the edges, which is cool. This is one of my favorites, Washington, D.C. with the cherry blossoms. There's a beach, another wedding. And these, like I said, are all 1900s. I'm just thrilled. There's an original ribbon on that one. I was breathless when I found them. I was just breathless because I got a really ridiculously good deal on them, which makes my journal so much more affordable. Most of my journals are way under 80 or 70 US. These are all the Christmas ones I got. So I have about 24 Christmas postcards now to put in all of the Christmas journals, which I'll start making in a few months, actually. Very excited. And then these are postcards of people, which is what they used to do. And look at this stunning woman here. Just gorgeous eyes. So when they went to the photographer, they would turn some of the photos into postcards so that you could just send them to your family. And we don't do that anymore. We send texts, but that's what they used to do. And then this was so great. There's just about 26 of these cabinet cards, and they are just spectacular. I took all the beautiful women and children ones I could find in the pile. A couple of men slipped in here. But look at, I mean, the outfits, and they're so historic. I just love them all so much. So yes, you get to have these in your journals if you're planning on ordering them anytime soon. I would do that before I run out because I'm so excited to add them. This was a bag that it was this bag here, and it says baby clothes that are ripped and torn. But when I peeked inside, like, this is antique silk and antique lace. So I was pretty excited, and I know it's all torn and irreparable, like in the back here, but I can certainly use the little ivory buttons, the pearl buttons, and the lace and the silk. So I'm very excited about that. Here's another one. Look at this one. Just look at this. And it broke my heart that this was all ripped. I could probably get somebody to fix it. And I may do that with this one because it's pretty darn special. Little pink one here, probably from the 50s or 60s. And then this lovely little one here. Look at this. Come on, this just adorable little baby outfit, very sheer. That again, that is not silk, I don't think, but very, very fine cotton. These are ladies' briefs, antique ladies' briefs. And they still had the price tag on them for 10 cents. And this, I think, my sister was with me on this trip, and we think that this would go on a clothesline, and then you would put maybe pins in here, clothes pegs, or maybe a diaper pins. And then another little baby outfit here. That almost looks like it would be a hospital outfit, maybe, a newborn. Look how tiny it is. Yeah. And then just these little teeny tiny undies here. Little undershirts, baby undershirts. I'm just thrilled with those. I can't wait to figure out something to do with them. And then I've got this little, what might have been a wedding flower girl or communion dress here. And then I've got these very old, they're probably vintage, not antique, but these great numbered tab holders. I just loved the bright orange of those. And one of my favorite things, believe it or not, is this old deck of cards, because look at this precious little image here of the kittens. So they're really worn, which I love. I don't like them when they look new, even if they're old. So yeah, 52 of those to go around. And then I was very conscious about pulling out mother ones because I do love adding these to my mother's journal. So these are all cards that ladies wrote to their mothers. And then there's this really cool vintage spice handbook. So pages and pages of spices. That's from the 70s, 50 something years old. And then this here, let's see if I can pull out here a bit. This was a second scrapbook. Last week I got one exactly like this, where I live, in red with a slightly different picture, but exactly the same textured front, same font. And then I found this one in another province a week later, and it is chock full of, let me just show you here, greeting cards, which I will very carefully remove. I have sort of a way of doing that keeps them safe. But oh my gosh, look at this cotton there. They're just, vintage cards are just the best, but I want to show you just one that my sister had to sedate me after I found this one, because it's pretty amazing if I can find it. So it's this one here. It's got the little terrier on it, and you open it up, original edition of Christmas Cheer, and then there's a little book inside, a book inside of a book. Unlimited edition Best Wishes, and another book. And guess what? There's another book. And then we figured that was it. There was nothing there. And just to be sure, I opened it up and I saw it, and it says "To Sister" on the foil. So I lost my mind. I was just so excited. It doesn't take much to excite me, as you can see. Anyways, I hope you're as excited as me. Doubtful, but come back soon so you can see the first journal I get to make with all these fabulous things. Thanks for watching. Leave me a comment below, and visit my Etsy page, hyperstamper.etsy.com. Bye for now.